Assalamu alaikum. This is Planet FM 87.6 broadcast, and I am Imran Javed. Today, we have a pleasure to be with His Excellency Vice Admiral Mohan Wijewickrama, RSP, VSV, USP, NDC, is a Honorable High Commissioner for Sri Lanka at Islamabad. Sir, first of all, we would love to welcome you at Islamabad, and certainly being the part and parcel of Radio Pakistan as well. This is Planet FM 87.6, the only English channel of Radio Pakistan. So first of all, let us know that how do you feel to be with us likewise, because we have spent some moments with you, and certainly that we have just interviewing you today. How do you feel today?
Assalamu alaikum, good morning, and Mr. Imran, thank you very much for organizing this program. Pakistan, as you say, you asked me how I feel being in Islamabad. We are among friends.
Yes.
And Pakistan and Islamabad has been certainly a very nice place for me to live for the last almost more than 2.5 years. So it's a good time, and I really enjoy it.
Okay, so I feel good that because the body language and the vibes that I am just receiving myself are good, because I feel good rather to be the part of yours as well. So thank you very much for being with us and bestowing very precious time of yours upon Radio Pakistan and Planet FM 87.6. So we have lot many things to share with you, Your Excellency, and obviously because people of Pakistan and people of Sri Lanka have lot many mutual understandings regarding sports, culture, heritage, integrities and the feelings and etc. So first of all, let us know. Because the understanding between the people of Pakistan and people of Sri Lanka, because prior to the interview that you have mentioned so far, because there is no proper, some unique differences been there. The people are loving and very affirmative and very optimistic to their stances.
Yes, Pakistan and Sri Lanka became friends after we received the independence, after your nation was formed, and we became an independent nation.
Yes.
And from 1948, our relations with Pakistan has been definitely at a very high level. The first is the visit of our founding father, meeting your founding father in Karachi.
Yes.
And from there onwards, it has been a continuous movement of high diplomacy.
Okay.
We have had the highest level of social, political, cultural, and of course, defense relations. Our trade relations with Pakistan has been improving. Pakistan signed your first free trade agreement with Sri Lanka.
Yes.
And last year, Sri Lanka happened to be the 11th highest export destination of Pakistan exports.
Okay.
So that's the relationship we have.
Okay. So because the sports relationship as well, because as most oftenly, because we love the Sri Lankan players as well, and we are very much familiar with them, and we feel that the sports patronage by the government of the Sri Lanka, very appreciable rather.
Yeah, I must compliment Pakistan, because it was Pakistan who was one of the nations who supported us to get into ICC.
Okay.
I mean, when we were not in the International Cricket Council, and from there onwards, we each other supported each other. When we had the World Cup being played, when some other countries boycotted coming to Colombo,
yeah,
it was some players from Pakistan and India who came and played in Colombo and said that, no, you can play cricket in Colombo. Similarly, we have come and played cricket, and we played two different brands of cricket. So
there are sort of brotherhood ties and understanding as well, because unless there is no CBM, obviously, then we can't cope with the current situations as well. Because we love Rana Tunga, Roshan Mahanama, Arinda De Silva, Atapatu, and not many other players that we have around, and we love them obviously. So, what about the other sports at Sri Lanka? Because cricket we know well about other sports. Because do the Sri Lankans are most intent towards playing different games?
We have been generally dominating the South Asian region in track and field.
Okay.
And of course, last year we did not perform well, but we have been doing quite well at the SAC meets.
Yes.
And then we are very popular in most main cities. We play rugby,
Okay.
which is not played in Pakistan much.
Much.
I know you all play hockey. We also do play hockey, but we had never got into that Asian standard.
Rather, we have a national game is hockey as well, but even the people are plunging towards cricket more.
So, I mean, we play most games what you all do, but we have generally got popular like cricket. I don't think we have not made a mark in most of the other sports, but there have been ups and downs. You know, last time we won a couple of Asian game medals in wrestling and I think weightlifting and so on. But
As well as the pedestal of SARC is concerned, because we have seen from last many years, it's not much operational as was in the previous times. So, do you think that futuristically this understanding and creating some proper establishment of SARC games and SAF games and likewise, futuristically?
no, it's very important. SARC is a vehicle which was made for the betterment of the people of South Asia.
Okay.
I mean, development, it catered for trade, education, and so on. So SARC needs to be moved forward. That is my personal opinion. Because if you take the number of people living in the SARC countries, is almost more than one-fourth the population, about
Yes.
one-fourth the population. And if you take the GDP of all these SARC countries put together, we are bigger than ASEAN.
Yes.
So if we can do trade among ourselves, certainly we don't have to look elsewhere. So SARC needs to go. There's a political problem, but we must
Yes.
sort it out and go forward.
But we are not going to discuss the political problems and things likewise, because we just like to share the culture exchange things, the mutual harmonies among the countries and the SARC countries as well, because they can play the pivotal role to eradicate poverty and some positive things within the region as well.
Absolutely.
So, secondly, I would like to ask from your very kind self about the tourism, because you have very stunning places and eye-labbing, gushing things, and all greenery. And while just landing in the Colombo airport, you feel stunned to yourself to see the beauty around.
No, tourism is one of our main revenue earners. It's among the first three, and we were doing quite well until about 2019 when we were struck by this Easter bombings,
Okay.
where tourism had an impact, and then of course COVID, and the country also got into this financial situation because of losing about $5 billion for 3 years. That is
Yes.
15 billion lost on tourist earnings. We have a lot to offer. We have from beaches to the mountains to the wildlife to the
There's
historical.
a diversity of things and the tourism places as well.
It has just started picking up, and we hope that we should be able to come back to 2019 levels very fast.
Okay. So I hope so, because to revive and to revamp the things like that, because people love to spend times, their holiday times, their vacation times in Sri Lanka as well.
I know there are a lot of Pakistanis who do visit now, and who have come back have come with very good memories.
Yeah.
And they talk very high about Sri Lanka. So I think that I suppose this interview also will give some sort of.
I hope so, because we wish the government of Pakistan, Radio Pakistan, and Your Excellency, we wish all to create a harmony among ourselves as well. So while I've been the part to travel myself Colombo, while meeting people over there, friends over there, they're all very frank, very spontaneous in their relations with us. So obviously I always have a very candid feelings about the Sri Lankans rather. So the important thing that we always covet ourselves, that is the literacy of yours. So what is the magic inside?
Sri Lanka, education is compulsory. I mean, every child must go to school. And if you don't send your child to school, the parents can be taken to courts.
Oh,
So,
interesting to know about that.
And from the time of our independence, I think just after that, we had managed to educate our children at least up to about grade 10.
Okay.
Our education is free even in the universities.
Okay.
From grade 1 to university, education is free of cost. We train about every year 45,000 graduates free from our population. And I must also compliment to Pakistan. Pakistan have been giving us scholarships to the students who cannot enter the universities but qualified. And every year we get about 200 scholarships to your universities. So that's not the magical thing. That is what we
Most oftenly we used to quote the literacy rate and the people are much educated, the mandatory thing regarding the education at Sri Lanka. So, as we have the HEC, the Higher Education Commission, because we used to promote the research scholars now at the moment, because at the advancement in the technology and other sectors of health, and the philanthropies and all that. So in Sri Lanka, there are any departments to promote the research scholars over there, like the revamping of the literacy as well.
We have a research department, but I think you have a better organization here. I have seen your research. I have also had a lot of engagement with your Higher Education Commission, the NDU, especially the defense side.
Yes.
And I would say that you have some wonderful universities here. You have to advertise your
because we have the grand population as well, obviously, with the to create a ratio and understanding between these sort of things, obviously, because even then lot many things that we are lagging behind, and there is a very dire need to revamp this gap, because as the population of yours, because you have the ample facilities for the education and the research scholars and the improvement of the literacy as well. Is it like that, sir?
Yes, our population is 1/10 of your population, so we can manage it. When we got independence, also we were provided, we had certain universities and the schools which were left by the colonial masters. So we just had to take it from them and just run it. So
like the subcontinent remained a colony, and not many colonies have been there. But even then, Sri Lanka has the beauty, I think, that it cannot be ignored by any person who can think and who can see as well. And while uttering a word to see that, because the health sector is important, and as well as the eye-related diseases and treatment, because even then, people from our side used to praise a lot, the eye-related treatments. So, like many donations, and the Sri Lankan doctors have been there. So, what is the story, sir?
I think like education, health is free in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And of course, we have the private.
By the way, it's a very exemplary thing that because the education is free and health is quite free for the rest of the populace over there.
And this cornea, we have been Sri Lankans, because of our religion, we think that if you give a cornea, I mean, you'll be blessed in the next birth. Okay. Not only cornea, it could be any part, even a liver or a kidney or whatever it is. So there are a lot of people after you are dead, they sign and say, please donate it to us.
From their side to just donate their lungs, their limbs and all that.
Yeah, so that happens. And then we have been sending a few to Pakistan.
So because these are the things that, for example, if somebody asks that where do you go now, I said that to interview His Excellency, the High Commissioner of Sri Lanka, they said that you must ask the literacy things, and as well as the health sector and the eye, the cornea, and sort of things likewise. So people have great admiration for all these sort of things from your side. So I'm very humble to ask these sort of questions. So do you think that a cultural and youth exchange program between Pakistan and Sri Lanka
is a must? I think that is something which we have to improve on. People-to-people contact needs to improve. I mean, at very high levels, like the political, the bureaucracy, the defense, we have very good ties and exchanges, but people-to-people must improve. Only thing is the connectivity. We don't have direct connectivity except for Sri Lankan Airlines, which fly from Lahore and Karachi. If not to come to Sri Lanka for a Pakistani, has to go to another third country and wait in a transit for a long time, and sometimes it becomes expensive.
The transit issues likewise.
And expensive.
Yes.
Expensive also because of the ticket. So if we can get some more PIA to fly to Colombo, we'll definitely.
So because sometimes when you're just heading towards Maldives, and you will have to transit at Colombo.
Yes.
And as Lankan Air is, I think that very good, because I have traveled myself in that particular aeroplane, and the good hospitality given by the cabin crew as well.
Sri Lankan Airlines is a good airline.
Yes, it's a good airline. Because you future see that the PIA must start the operations like towards.
Yes, reciprocal. We have roughly about 6 flights per week to Pakistan direct.
Yeah.
And we would like to have at least
Lahore to Colombo and Karachi as well.
To Colombo.
Okay. So I think that the ratio must be enhanced rather. Because now after the post-COVID things, like because before COVID there are not many stumbling blocks and the tenterhooks that we used to face a lot, but after the COVID thing, because I think this ratio must be enhanced and increased and appreciated by the both governments as well.
Certainly, and you also have a beautiful area to come and see. I mean, I have been to Gandhara. We have a connection with Gandhara, because of the religious connections.
Yes.
And we have, your mountains, Gilgit, Hunza,
Yeah.
those areas.
You have visited the places like.
I have got short. I could not go to Gilgit, but every time now we just planned. But then, of course, the winter, -10 degrees. So,
It has been said that Swat is a Switzerland of Pakistan. There's a beauty, the mountains and the valleys and the gushing things and, lullabying always, fragrant always. Because Pakistan has a diversity of the weathers and the places and the crops and the vegetations, all things that
and
we have.
history,
Alhamdulillah.
and history, you have historical. Now you go to Takshila, you go to Peshawar, you go to Gandhara, right? There's a lot of history.
There is a preservation and archives of the Buddhas like that at Sri Lanka, sir.
Yes.
And this is a place to visit, like for the tourism and just enhancing the capacity and capability of attracting tourism for that sort of thing. Because Nepal and Sri Lanka and sometimes Vietnam and other countries have
Thailand, yes.
Japan as well.
That is,
It's under consideration
yes.
to just revamp these sort of things. Because Pakistan too have the Gandhara art and textile as well. That the people from Sri Lanka used to visit this place as well.
Yes, they do. But the numbers are insignificant. It should increase.
Okay.
And of course, our historical sites, you get a lot of visitors coming in. I mean, it's not only Buddhism. We have, you get the forts, then you get the harbors, then you get the mountains. You get, you go 50 kilometers, you hit from, 24 degrees to about, 5 degrees. That's the temperature difference in...
Yeah. Because there's a diversity in as the global warming is concerned, that you'd think that at this pedestal now, that Sri Lanka is playing something to eradicate this thing, because you are mostly watery sort of things and waterfalls and these sort of all availabilities over there.
Like Pakistan, we are not people who disturb the climate, but we are vulnerable state, like Pakistan. We also have... this high intensity rains now, which we did not have a few years back. We have droughts now. So the climate change is having effect.
Yeah, the
on
good
us.
forest and the good green things over there, most often, because I've seen myself in the calendars and the jungle pics and all that.
We do not have deserts, so it's all
So lastly, I would like to ask from Your Excellency that the exchange programs of student affairs and the youth entrepreneurs between Pakistan and Sri Lanka is sort of any in consideration from your very kind self.
We have been discussing at very high level, even with the minister level.
Okay.
So I think give it a little bit of time, it will improve.
Because I hope so, because we are very sanguine about the very positive things about the two countries, and we are very happy today being the part of Planet FM at 7.6 that His Excellency has given and bestowed time upon our person to talk about the very candid things about the two countries, the brotherhood, the integrity and the mutual harmony as well. So I'm really grateful, sir, for rendering very precious time upon us, and you're all smiling, the body language is good, and we feel rather at the very high pedestal to be very easy rather to interview you, to ask questions. So would like to say about us, our very visit to us, and as well as the Pakistan, the people of Pakistan, and the flora and fauna of Pakistan as well.
So thank you so much. I think it was a very good interview, and I think the way you handle it, I think gave me sense that I'm among the best of friends.
Okay, thank you.
And
I'm honored, sir.
I wish your channel all the very best.
Sir.
And we'll keep in touch. Thank you.
So I hope so that this, this stance rather, we would enhance it futuristically and time and again that we will visit. And I invite you to the studios of Planet FM at Sanpur, very adjacent to you. We are the neighbors to you, sir. So thank you very much once again, sir.
Thank you.